Alrighty, welcome everyone! Welcome people here live and people here who watch later to the watch party for Voice of the Rings. The Rings of Power watch party, episodes 1 and 2, my friends. Hello, welcome back, my friends. Welcome back. Alright, you guys. So, I'm going to help you set it up. I'm not going to be streaming it because that will cause copyright problems, but the idea is we are going to match up our times here, and technically there is a watch and chat with others watch party ability, which I was thinking we could try to use together here. So I'm kind of curious, yeah, we might try to use this function, you guys, here. So what we got here is it's got a little thing that we can use, and I'm going to do the chat name as Zollin, because I think that would be easy. So I'm going to create a watch party. We'll explain this in a minute to watch these episodes, but I want to watch episode 1. So let's start with doing it from episode 1. So let's choose our episode here. Where in the heck do you choose your episode? I don't want to watch episode 2. I want to watch the first one. All right. Oh, you can download it? Oh, that's kind of cool. Let's see. So I want to do episode, whoop, that's not what I wanted to do. Oh, I have to get the app. I don't want to do that. I'm going to stream it, to myself. Let's see. Episodes, there it is. All right, episode 1. So I'm going to flip to episode 1, but I don't want it to start playing because that'll cause me problems. So there we go. Now we're on episode 1, and now I'm going to say, we're going to create a watch party. We're going to do it as Zollin. All right, welcome everybody, welcome. All right, create watch party. All right, so what I'm gonna do here is, again, I'm gonna flip this. I'm not gonna let you guys be able to hear this. So what I might end up doing here is I might put on my other headset, but I wanna be able to hear myself talk. How am I gonna do this? With sound. Trying to think how I'm gonna do this for you guys here. Oh, I'll just turn off the sounds to my... You don't need to hear any sounds. That's how I do it. You just need to hear my voice, right? So that's all that matters. That's what I do. I'll turn off the sounds so you can't hear my sounds. I can hear it, but you can't hear me. And I mean, you can hear me talk, and I can see you guys type, but you won't hear my sounds. And then we're gonna switch it where I'm actually going to be... You're gonna see me big here in a second. So I'm gonna blow up. But I wanna make sure everyone is settled. So good. There's 8 of us here. All right. Good. So let's see if we can try this watch party. 1 person joined. Good. So again, share link. So I'm gonna copy this link and I'm gonna send it to you guys right now in the chat. All right. All right. So there we go. There's the link. So you should be able to click that and join the watch party. Now you still have to have a subscription to the Amazon Prime to watch it. And again, I'm not gonna be streaming it. So I'm gonna flip into a big mode of me here on the stream. You might want to put me on the, on your cell phone or on your other screen if you have 2 monitors, you know, that kind of thing. And again, I don't really plan on talking during the whole thing. So, I mean, we might be quiet at parts. If you guys want me to say things and talk, I can a little bit, but I want you to actually be able to enjoy and watch it if it's the first time you've seen it. I know for a couple of my friends that like Night Chaos, it's the first time seeing it. Me and Jethros watched it already the other night, but we're excited to watch it again. So again, I'm just gonna be kind of chilling here. So if you make a comment during the video, I might say something still, but again, I don't want to be like disruptive, but at the same time, I know you guys are here to, you know, be part of the stream, so I want to interact with you guys. So feel free to message during the video too. I will answer things. Cool. All right, there's more of us here. Good. We have about the same people that we had previously, so that's good. That was the goal. And again, I want to start as soon as we can for my friends who are in the Europe. And of course we have Saya there, who's from India. So I don't know what time it is for you, my friend, but you must be, I'm assuming it's probably like in the middle of the night, right? Yes, good evening, Shadow Gamer. Welcome. Afternoon for me, evening for you. That was the goal, though. I wanted to make it where you guys can actually enjoy and watch if you're in the Europe or East Coast kind of thing. Make sure you guys have a drink, relax. So, guys, everyone who popped in just now, again, I know I just talked about this. Don't forget to like the video real quick. Let people know that we're doing this. It'll help recommend it to other people. I appreciate that. And then the link is right there in the or down there in the comments. We're basically going to join up as a watch party. So I have 3 people who have already joined. I don't know how this works. We're going to try the built-in system. Again, I'm not going to be able to stream it for you guys, but we can be linked up. And if you can't do the link up and you can't figure out, that's fine. I'm still going to have that little clock in the bottom left going. Right when we push play, I'm going to start that too, so that you can kind of know. Okay, 10 for you. Okay, all right. All right, well, good. Hopefully, if we get going on these shows, you can be done and out of here, by midnight. It'll be fun. We'll have fun here. And again, you don't have to stay for the whole thing. If you can't, guys, I understand, but we'll have fun. All right. Oh, perfect. All right, 9. Yeah, that was my goal zone. I wanted to make it where you guys could enjoy watching in the evening, where you're not watching until 2 a.m. in the morning for you guys. So that's why we're doing afternoon here. Awesome. All right. So anyone have questions right now? We're gonna get it. My goal was to give people so it's 12:02 right now for me. 2 minutes into my original time of starting the stream, even though I started early. I wanted to give 10-15 minutes at most for people to ask questions and get here. So if you guys need to do a bathroom break or get a drink or that kind of stuff, now's the time. Or if you have any technical difficulty connecting with this, if you want to try to use the watch party through Amazon, I have 3 people who have joined it. There's a link again right up there or in the comments down there if you're watching the stream. You can try it. We'll try the watch party thing and see if that works. I think what happens is when I press play, you all see it start too. I think that's how it works. But again, I'm not going to be able to stream it here. What we're going to do is I'm going to become a big... I'm going to be the whole stream here. You can have me on the phone or have me on another screen if you have 2 screens on your computer. And then we'll link it up and I'll push play and we'll watch it. And then I'll also have the timer going when we start. So... hopefully that'll be fun. If this works with the watch party thing with the Amazon, where I push play and you guys all see it too play, that would be awesome, because that would be really good. But let's we'll still use the chat to talk though here in the thing. I mean, there might be a chat as well inside the link in Amazon thing, but we won't be able to see your comments on the stream. So if you want to be immortalized in the history of the stream, you should use the chat. I don't know if it's going to be 2 every Friday or not, Shadow Gamer. My gut feeling is it's going to be 1. I think they did 2 to kind of get you into it. What do you think? And then they're going to do 1 each week. That's my guess. That's my guess. Night Chaos, do you think do you know it's going to be 2 every week? Because that would be I'd be kind of excited if they did 2 every week. Because I like more, faster, rather than dragging it out. It's linked up when you start. Okay, yeah, this is Night Chaos's idea. He reminded me there's a watch party system in the Amazon things. So, all right, 4 of you are now connected. That's good. Okay. The chat and Amazon party. Okay, sounds good. All right, there's more of us here. I would think so. Does anyone know by chance how many episodes there's going to be? Because I am not entirely sure. I'm going to Google it and see if it's info that everyone knows. How many episodes are in season 1 of the Lord of the Rings Amazon Prime series?
8 episodes.
8. Yeah, dang it. I knew they were going to do that. Knew it. Yeah, I want them to do more than 8. I'm getting kind of tired of everyone suddenly. It's like, do you guys notice that in all cinema things? They're like, oh, by the way, seasons are now 8 episodes. It's like, what? Seasons have always been like 30 or 12 or they're just like, now it's 8. Oh, okay, all right. So be it. I don't know. I just feel like it's more of a we do less work, but we get money out of it anyway. That they'll make 20 episodes. Maybe that's the next season, though. According to this, this article online, it says there's going to be 8 episodes. Oh, how many are left, though? Okay, maybe 10 altogether. 6 episodes left in season 1. There will be 8 episodes in season 1. Maybe it's saying that there will be a season 2 that has 10 more episodes. Like 20 episodes in total. I blink. Yeah, Jethros. I know. That's when they started doing this stuff. They're like, we're going to make seasons a lot shorter. Yeah, it might go for it, Shadow Gamer, but it might the bot might think it's a spam, so we'll see. Let me compose. New Zealand, where the film was produced, February 2020. Yeah, production break. They had a several months production break because of the dreaded COVID. Let's see. And even better, producers have revealed that they got story planned for 5 whole seasons. And only 2 are officially confirmed. So there we go. That's why you see 20, Shadow Gamer, because there is 2 confirmed seasons, which would be about 20 episodes. But they have enough planned for 5, so it really depends on how much we all watch it, if it's good. I mean, I think these first two are good, but let's watch it first and then we will talk about it. I think the goal is we're gonna watch episode 1. We'll chat for like 10 minutes about it, see what everyone thinks, and then we'll watch episode 2 and we'll do some more chatting right after. And I think our goal too will be and then I don't know if I'll do it today or tomorrow, but I'll make some review videos. I might do it this week, actually. I might make them Monday. Take a little break, let my mind think on it a little more, you know? After I've seen them twice then, after this stream. All right, welcome everybody. Okay, good. Now we have more people here. All right, so I'm going to reiterate this one more time. So we'll start in about less than 10 minutes. You guys, there is a link in the chat there that I put in there. If you look down there, there's a link down there, and you can click on that if you are an Amazon Prime, obviously, till we have to have that to watch. You can join the watch party. Again, I'm not going to be streaming this live like this. I'm going to blow up my picture, so make me, you put me on another screen if you have 2 screens, or just in the background where you can hear me if you want, or put me on, your cell phone so you can watch it on the big TV. And then we'll join the watch party when I click start, if you're in the watch party. If not, I also have a timer down there in the corner that I'm going to start right when I start the video, so you kind of know where we're at as a group. Welcome, everybody. All right. We'll put a little waiting music on here while we're waiting. Please feel free to... All right, zone's on. Good. It says I have 5 people right now in the watch party here. Again, I have the link here. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna paste it one more time in the chat there if you missed it. Oh yeah, I don't know. Maybe they changed it, Shadow Gamer. I have no idea. Yeah, B, I totally get that, yeah. We'll totally talk about it after the episode. I already have seen them, but I want to keep it where it's fresh for people if they haven't seen it. But yes, I agree with that. But I must say, I actually didn't mind it quite as much with that scenes, as much as the other thing that bothered me with a personality on one character. I just didn't feel like it quite fit the character completely. But that's okay, because I still enjoyed a lot of it. But just like I'm going to be very neutral on my breakdowns of things, as in what I liked and what I didn't like. Because that's how we should all be, right? And if people totally love it, great. If people totally hate it, okay, that's fine. I think that's fine. I think people just need to chill and let people, have their views and opinions on a movie. Because it's amazing how some people just go after someone who likes it, or vice versa. Yes, Zone, you could. Again, Zone, if you've joined this, my stream is on a very short delay. Let me see. Okay, more people are here. Welcome. I'm on low latency, so the stream delay should only be like a second or two. Maybe a tiny bit longer depending on our distance between us, since you're in Europe. But when I push play on this, it should sync us sort of within a second or two as well if you're joining the link to the Amazon Watch Party. But again, I will have that down there, and I know it might not be exactly perfect, but it's only gonna be a second or two off if we do it right. Thank goodness for the internet being that good, right? Yeah, the visuals were fantastic. They were definitely a thumbs up. The music was pretty good. Again, some people are telling me in the comments, remember in my reviews I was saying that, like, I don't know why they didn't do the music in the trailers. Because the music was really actually very good. I enjoyed it. And now, okay. And now it says, hey, I mean, they might have changed it, Shatter Gamer. Maybe they were deciding to make a 20-episode season 1, and then they split it, you know? Could have been a marketing thing. They're like, oh, let's split it up. We already have the episodes. Let's make that season 2. You know? I don't know. All right, sweet. There is 18 of us here now. This is awesome. If anyone has questions of how we're doing this, please let me know. I don't want to keep reiterating it over and over unless someone really missed it. Ah, there's even more of us here now. Welcome, everybody. Oh, maybe, Peter. Maybe. That's true. All right. Now, again, I have the shareable link for this. If you guys want to do this. If you don't, I'll have the link down there. You have to have it opened up on your own. I am going to change something up here at 1 second. I'm going to, go away for a second here. You can hear my voice, though. Don't worry. And then I'm going to go ahead and do this. Whoop! There we go. All right. So I'm going to be like this for the stream. So again, you're not going to be able to hear my sounds, but you guys can still hear my voice, right? Good? You can all hear me? Looks like everything's working there. Again, I hope my AC isn't too loud in the background. I can mute during talking if you guys tell me my AC is too loud. Bum bum ba bum 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 bum. All right. No, Shadow Gamer. I think that money was also put into the next season. I think that was their budget for the first, because the second season's already confirmed, and I think they've already made a lot of it. It's my guess. But yeah, I would be surprised if they spent that much on it. Again, money isn't everything, but the visuals were pretty darn awesome. So, and you could tell some areas were real New Zealand that they shot in, so that was awesome. All right. So, who's ready to watch this? Have some fun here. We're gonna start in about a minute. All right, so for people who might have missed it, reiterate it one more time for you. If you can would be awesome. Like the video or the stream, so people know we're doing this. It recommends it to other people. And then also, there's a link which is right up there in the stream, right down there. I did a link that is to the Amazon Watch Party system, which when I push play, it'll start. But if you don't want to use that and you've already set up and you're ready to push play, when I started, I'm also going to start this timer down here, so you'll know where we are in the video, in the episode. I also seem to have a little bit of a connection problem happening there. I seem to be lagging slightly. I don't know what's happening with my internet there. Yes, I'm seeming to have a small bit of lag there. I might reduce my my quality of my signal here slightly so that I don't lag as much. What does it usually recommend? Uh-oh. Yeah, I'm having total. Having a little troubles here. Uh-oh. What's called? Okay. Well, that was weird. I disconnected there for a second. I'm not sure what's happening to my internet, guys, but can you hear me and see me still? That was weird. That was weird indeed. I'm not sure. I think I had an internet spike there a little bit. Something to do with my internet. Let me go make sure real quick in the other room that nothing is left on, like the TV. Just make sure I have my full bandwidth. It looks like everything's stable now, but something was really happening there for a second. Do you guys can still hear me? Yeah. Look, it says I have an excellent connection again, so that was really weird. It was, my connection was bouncing all over the place, and then it went just, and then Discord disconnected and came back, so. Weird. I don't know. Okay, good. You guys, okay, good. All right, we're gonna start in like 2 minutes. So make sure you're set up with your Amazon thing. Again, the link, I'm gonna drop it one more time in the comments there. If you want to join through the automated, when I push play, it should automatically play it for you too. Watch party with Amazon. Otherwise, I'll have the little timer started there. But give me 2 minutes. I'm gonna go check the other room and then we'll start. All right. Let's see here. Dum bum ba dum ba dum bin dun dun. All right, who's ready? All right. You guys set? Oh, there's a zone says there's a cosmetic contest. Interesting. Very interesting. Ah, yes, Night Chaos. Correct. It's toothless. And then this is all, these are all, like, little stuffed animals of the Lord of the Rings, right? It's Gollum, Sam, Frodo, Saruman, Gandalf, and then I got another little Gollum here and another little Gandalf and Bilbo from some different versions. And then right here is the Belrog. It's a pot, and that's a little Ramisporo from League of Legends. And then this is Bob Ross right here. Yep. There we go. And yeah, there seems to be about a four second delay in my stream versus what I'm seeing. All right. Okay. Exactly. Okay. It's Remus. One of my favorite characters in League of Legends. I don't play him a lot, but I love his lore. I love his character. Now I went the Belrog. Yeah, it's really cool. Look up the pop Belrog. It's like one of the big ones. It's pretty cool looking. And then of course I've got my swords here, and I got the Mace of Sauron and the Witch King sword and helmet right here, and this whole wall in front of me has like 20 replicas for United Cutlery. And then I got the pops right here. And then some more replicas right here. Anyway, that's only one of my replica walls. You should see this one behind you. All right, you guys ready? Are we set? Let's watch the show here, my friends. Let's get going on this, because for people who it's later for, I want us to be able to have chat after the episodes. It can glitch to 5,000 right now? Oh gosh. Yeah, the mace is pretty fun, you guys. It's pretty fun. I'll pull it down another stream or something. I don't know. Have I done I don't think I've done a review yet on the mace on the collection playlist. I'll do that. Nice. Where are we all from, real quick? Okay, I'm California, U.S. I know Night Chaos and just for fun. All right, let's get this going. Let's do our watch party. All right, so you guys won't be able to hear it on my... Okay, okay, look at us. We're from all over. California, Florida, Finland, Sweden, Canada. All right, okay, sweet. Well, we're from all over the place. It's awesome. And then I know we had one, I don't know if he's still here, but he was from India. And then we had someone else also from Turkey here in last stream. Man, this is cool. We're from all over the world. We all love Lord of the Rings. All right, well, let's enjoy it. Let's watch our show here. All right, we're going to start it up. All right. Here's what I'm doing. I'm going to click start for some of us, and then I'm going to click the stream start button too. Ready? So we're going to start the timer, and I'm going to click play. So in 5 seconds. And Texas, and Germany, and Kansas. Wow. Okay, that is awesome, you guys. Again, feel free to leave comments here in the comment thing. I will still answer occasionally quietly during the video. But and hopefully you're all set, and you can have me on the other device or on the other screen or whatever, so we can still chat. And then in between episodes, we'll have a little break, and we'll also we'll talk about the episode, and then we'll watch the other one, that kind of thing. Anyway, here we go. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Start there. Start here. We're off. We're off. Oh, that's awesome, Shadow Gamer. I like that they showed young Galadriel. Thanks, Shadow Gamer. Yeah, Zone. Deep quote. I thought this whole part was neat with the brother-sister relationship. I liked it. This shot is so cool. Don't worry, Shadow Gamer. We'll have one in the future. That shot, though, is so cool. I also love the trees. They look awesome. So they skip a lot of history there. Yeah, it's Finrod. I love the use of the maps. So everything she's talking about is actual lore, by the way, canon. So there is real lore, but they jump us in. I think she's talking about that because it's the whole like, and then the Belleran sinks, right? I kind of skipped that part though. They don't show us the map sinking, which would have been cool. I don't know. I think being a dwarf would be nice. I love this shot. I love how big Sauron is compared to the orcs. That's so cool. Here's where they twist their story in, right here. Because he was actually killed in the dungeons of Sauron. He wasn't chasing Sauron. But he was killed by a werewolf, and if you notice, his arm had werewolf scratches. So there was some real lore there, mixed in with their story. Sorry, guys. I'll try not to make sounds while we're listening. I got my special candy. This whole part made me realize how the elves, how they don't get tired and they don't get cold because of their special abilities. Blessings. This really proved that to the point. I like that. Yeah, I kind of would have liked to see a little more elves with long hair. Not quite sure why they all have short hair. Kind of weird. I can understand for the ones traveling on an adventure, but by the way, I just figured out, I'm pretty sure her company are the kids from the beginning. Yeah, the visuals look really good. So this whole part, this is where this is all a made up plot to kind of bring you into the story for someone who doesn't know the actual lore. And I believe she's a little too one-minded, but we'll see. Watch it a second time. But it is kind of cool she realizes right here. Yeah, beef jerky is a good one. All right, this fortress. Epic. Loved it. Totally makes me think Morgoth or Sauron. Right there, I would like to see some magic instead of just a punch in the wall. I think so, Zone. They don't actually tell us what the fortress is, Zone, because I don't think they have the rights, but I think that's what they're implying, that it's one of the northern fortresses in Fortawaith, which is really cool. I like that. I like that part. What devilry is this? I like the fact this water isn't frozen. Maybe he kept it very close to him so it wouldn't freeze. Yeah, the fortress is really cool. Possibly Shadow Gamer. I think it's interesting how they show how important that true tree light is for them. I like that part. I do think they made her a little too obsessed. I didn't feel like that was quite, but I like the snow troll. That stab is the most realistic best part right there. Where she stabs him in the throat. That looked good. What I don't like about that part is her whole I can fly through the air with a sword flip. That was so weird. And also she took too long to help her men. Like, she just let the crap get beat out of him. And remember, if you keep in mind, these are I think these are supposed to be her friends from when she was little. I think they're the same kids. It's my guess. Maybe not. At least him. I think he's supposed to be that kid. The other elf kid. Again, I don't feel like it's her personality to be this stubborn as a character from the stories. So that's where I don't really like it. But what I do like is if in the next episodes, they build it up where she becomes like the Galadriel we know from the Peter Jackson, like really regal, then I'd be like, okay, I'll let it slide at the beginning. But I don't think she was ever like that. That's just my opinion, though. I love the maps. The maps are awesome. All right, so now we're getting into Rovanian, right? We're just north of Mordor. Which I thought this area was probably Forest Shell, so I kind of guessed different. So, but this area was gorgeous before Sauron. So, zone. Yeah, I don't think it's quite as bad as the Falling Stone part. But it's Exactly, Knight. Making up animals. And actually, I'm not... The Hobbits aren't as bad as I was expecting. Wasn't quite as cringy as I was expecting. Just depends on how much they're actually going to be involved. They're... Spoilers, they're not really super involved in the first 2 seasons, so... I mean, episodes, excuse me. And I think they're supposed to be, like, primitive hobbits, right? Just kind of like... I mean, that's how they described them, the people who made the movie. The sky is strange part, yeah. Yeah, super duper. Yeah, Ori cookie. I actually think they were decent, except I think they're in the wrong time zone. I mean, not time zone, time frame, but I actually kind of I like her character, Nori. Again, I don't like it that her name is Nori because it's a dwarf name, but okay. Yeah, Zone, I agree with that, definitely. It looks, the feel, I think the feel is very Middle-earth. I think they did a good job. Yeah, the leaves and the hair, I think, are a little much. Yeah. I think it's more like they're scared of him for no reason, B. But yeah, you're right. They did not. Yeah, true, Peter. Mm-hmm. Also, I like how they had one kid with the really big eyes, because you remember in the Peter Jackson, all the Hobbit kids were like super big-eyed kids. I like they did that. And I like how they're just generic-looking hobbits, you know? They're not like perfect-looking or anything. They're just generic people, and I like that. I like how they show that the hobbits are intelligent, though, to keep themselves safe. They're, like, kind of scared of everything. I would... Because they're kind of like that later, right? No adventures. Except for Bilbo and Frodo, who love adventures, right? That's why they're so unusual. Everything else is stay safe, stay at home, right? So if this is supposed to be thousands of years before, it kind of makes sense that they would be like that. Yeah, exactly, Zone. Well, guess what? He is an elf lord in the future. So there. I like Elrond. I think he fits his character very well. And the way he speaks. They portray him. No, they portray. Oh, Lyndon looks amazing too. Oh, so good. They make a comment about him being a politician, which I'm not a big fan of, but maybe they don't mean it in the way that a lot of us take it. Maybe just that he's good at talking. I like that part. I like that they show that they're good friends. Your mother-in-law is here. He just doesn't know it yet. Big Joe. So that part I liked. I liked that whole conversation. I think she's, again, the obsession thing, a little too much on her. I like that Elrond is so patient with her, though, because that's totally his personality in the story. I haven't seen Celeborn yet. I kind of thought it was her partner on the trip, but it wasn't. That's a random guy. Again, I like how Elrond said that, but I don't think that should have been a thing in the first place that Galadriel did. Yeah, Rose, that is a bit of an issue, lore-wise. Unless she's already married and we just don't know it. They never said anything either way. I like the hobbits. I like her dad here. He's a great character. Well, Sauron is a Maiar. He's not an elf. He's the same as Gandalf, except older and under the tutelage of Morgoth. He appears as an elf, correct? He does. He appears as his fair form, Anatar. I don't want to talk over the video, sorry. Yes, it was a rant, Big Joe. That's the one thing that bothers me. I'll have that in my review. I actually used to think he was an elf too, Sauron. Back like many years ago. No worries. After I studied a little more, I found out. I was like, oh. Again, I like how they set up the hobbits, even though they're technically not supposed to be here. That's your problem. You see, the wheel's supposed to be round. I love that part. It's great. I'm trying to remember. Is it? He does. He serves one and then he turns and joins Morgoth. I don't know off the top of my head right now. Let me... Yes, you're correct. It was Alu the Smith. And Melkor and Alu were always in competition. I like Gil-galad. I feel like he's what I've always read. Rose, until I watch the whole season, then I will judge, depending on how. Galadriel is the one where I'm a little bit... And him granting the ability to go to the Undying Lands is kind of interesting. Because in the lore, it's kind of the elves are able to choose to leave, I thought. But, again, a little bit of a twist there in the lore. I think it's because it's a twist for their little plot line, which is not canon. So, I'll explain that later. Yeah, Jethros. I do like that. I like the fact that Elrond wrote his speech, because Elrond was always Gil-galad's right-hand person. He was right there during the Battle of the Last Alliance in another 1,000 years from now, too. So if you notice, there's some really important figures carved into these things besides her brother. Hey, thanks for the subscribe. It's Hurin the Hound and Luthien. And that's another famous character. I'll cover that in the review later. See, again, she's not as gracious as I would have liked. Elrond's perfect here, though, how he talks in response, in my opinion. Again, obsession. Too much. All my opinion on that. Doesn't feel like... Elrond's perfect here. I love his words. Again, her anger thing, too much. I can understand her anger, but they've both seen a lot. I like how gracious Elrond is right here, though, still. The forest does look really good, Peter. Yeah, I want to see Warrior Gilgalad, for sure. He's perfect. The Elrond's lines are just perfect, in my opinion, for this conversation. It's the same way the other actor portrays him in Lord of the Rings. Yeah, who won? Yeah. Elrond is canon, yeah. He's dealing with a Galadriel that's going off canon. And I can understand from lore how she would be angry with losing all her brothers in the war. That makes sense. I don't know, Sherry G. Sherry G. I really like the map, Peter. I really like that they show the map. If I were them, I would have shown the map of, yeah. So now we are in Mordor. Before Sauron. Which you see in the Shadows of Mordor game, right? That it's pretty. And this would make complete sense. You'd have a combination of many different peoples here. Haradrim, Rune, maybe people from the north, Northmen, all that kind of thing. Tells him how to win. Yeah, the armor looks cool. It does, Peter. I'm not sure how realistic it would be, but I mean, they're elves. They can make things that aren't, magical. Yeah, Big Joe. I actually, well, let you watch, but this character grows on me. I like that he's very stoic. Would there be anything else then? I thought that whole part was really well done. So basically, the elves are watching these people because these people joined the war with Sauron back in the wars, right? Because they were like the Haradrim and the Easterlings who joined him. So now, thousands of years later, they're feeling like the elves are kind of like, you know, overstepping their watching because they feel like they shouldn't have anything to do with generations ago, right? Again, this is all made-up characters. This is a total side story. Has nothing to do with the lore. Okay? Keep that in mind. Kingdom Come to... Yeah, Zone. Does have that feel, doesn't it? Yeah, Peter, I actually think I think they're both decent additions so far in the first 2 episodes that I've enjoyed. I believe those are the same flowers that grow on the tombs of the kings in Rohan. By the way. This whole visual, look at the visuals, guys. It's really good. Okay, this whole part I like. I really like this. Really, Mark the Dragon, I really liked seeing the silhouette of Sauron with the orcs. It was really good. Okay, that whole moment, that gave me the new Witcher series vibes, but I liked it. Look at that shot. Okay, so like, this is Mordor pre-Sauron, you guys. Look at that. I like that he talks about the actual lore of 2 relationships, right? The 2 relationships we know of before Aragorn and Arwen, right? This is before that. Between a man and an elf, and he's like, why are you're it's gonna end in tragedy. Like, I like that even though they're made up characters, that maybe it will just end in tragedy, so it won't be official that they ever work together as a couple, you know. Yeah, dude, and the dragons seem to be awesome, dude. Cooler than Game of Thrones dragons. No, Game of Thrones has really cool dragons, but like Smaug is so much bigger than the Game of Thrones dragons, right? I loved him in The Hobbit. Gosh, the view and the beautiful, look at that beautiful art, woodwork on the tower. "79 years. Gee. Elves. I'm sure they want to put Balrogs in, but I don't know how accurate that is to lore-wise, but I mean, I would let it slide because I want to see a Balrog, obviously. We are technically inside the realm of Mordor right now, near the big lake. In my review, I'll show you guys later. Yeah, they do show one in the trailer. That is true. Again, yes, I'd like a little more long hair on my elves, but I do like how most of the elves look, besides that. So. A proper jig. Yeah. Yeah, we'll see Mark of Dragons. They hold it very, very close to them. In fact, a lot of the made-up stuff in this show is probably because they didn't have the rights to some things. Of course, they need to fill some stuff in, obviously. I just don't want to give away spoilers. I've watched them both, Mark. Because other people haven't seen it yet. We're watching right now. Okay. I can't even look at that. It's so gross. Zone, I think that it was, but they don't have the rights to that part of the story, so I think they just did a pile of helmets to kind of represent it. Or it was their creative change. And also, the hill is a lot bigger described than that hill of helmets at the beginning. Yeah, I know the kid's made up character, but I actually find it's interesting. I have a feeling that this is a relic of Mordor, of the battles. Pretty cool looking, whatever it is. Yeah, I don't think they'll turn him into a Nazgul. Though, the Nazgul kings did have the ability to turn people into wraiths. Again, that's a hint back at the original. Past beyond my sight. That's what Gandalf says, remember? Still it's time to become High King. Maybe he becomes the King of Haradrim. I mean, a big majority of it won't be because they don't have the rights, Peter. But they're obviously trying to keep some things the same. Because they know if they change too many things, people would just... no one would be interested at all. I could see him becoming a servant, though. An evil wraith or something. The Witch King had a lot of people underneath him that were wraiths that weren't the other 8. Now here's where we're going into the lore. Right here. I like that smile. He was like, well, hello. Death Knights. There it is. Yeah, Celebrimbor so far seems like a character that totally makes me think him as canon lore. And not to mention, that was like 20 generations ago. Yeah, Zone. I'm pretty sure he's going to be pretty heavy canon. The only character I've really seen them switch a lot from canon is Galadriel, with her attitude. Just doesn't seem like it. Alright, so we're in the Southern Lands. Now we're moving all the way over the ocean. And again, this whole part with her going back to Valinor, this never happened in the books. So this is all made up, but there's a reason, because they're trying to use her as the instrument of their side plot, you know. Yeah, the orcs are awesome. And this. Yeah, it does, Peter. Me neither, Zone. And my whole family didn't like this whole stuff, this whole water stuff. Because this part's all made up. That's why. And honestly, this whole part is not quite how I imagine Valinor is. It's almost kind of... The birds are fine, but the clouds are kind of like creepy. I do like how they hear the singing though, and they like start singing with it. I think that's kind of cool. I like Gregorian chant. That's cool. I like that part. But the wall seems, the like cloud wall, I know they have to have some idea of not getting there without the blessing, but it seems kind of creepy. This is what my family thought. Getting flashbanged, yeah, exactly. Just So here's all the shots we got from the trailers. Again, I didn't really totally like how Galadriel looked at the blade too, like almost like she was obsessed again. Remember I was telling you I don't like the obsession thing? Remember, I think these are all her childhood friends who had also seen the light of the two trees. So that's why they're excited to go back and be in Valinor. So even though that's not canon... Ents! Guys, there's Ents! I want to see Ents. She can't. That's not canon for her to go back to Valinor, guys. So what's the outcome of this situation? Oh yeah, the females, yeah. His hair's a little bit longer. That guy's not. There's the Galadriel look we get, though, from the original actress. Okay, so I do like the fact I know it's made up, but I like the fact that... Loading screen, yeah, no kidding, B. I like the fact that she jumps out and they still go to Valinor, her made up, even though it's all made up, because it would have been really lame if she had like done something that like Valinor was like, no, and shut the door, just made them all be stranded in the ocean. Like, that would have been really bad, even for a made up scene, so. I don't know what she's going to do to get away, though. Alright, this part with Gil-galad, with the leaf, I think it's a vision, I think. Like a foretelling, because he can see visions like Elrond later. Which is, Gil-galad is very wise, and he's the one that saw through Sauron when he comes to fair form, so. Yeah, Big Joe. Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. Like, I know they don't get tired, and I know she wouldn't get hyperthermia from the water, but like, there's a certain limit to that being sensible. It's Meteor Man! Still have no idea what this is. Music's awesome, though. Raw. Some serious singers right there. All right. So that's the first episode. I thought it was Gandalf. Yeah, I don't think so. I think they know if they made this random made-up character Gandalf that people would be like, what? Besides, Gandalf took the form of an old man. So this guy is like, looks like he's like a crazy like guy in his like 50s with a beard. He doesn't look like Gandalf, so I don't think it's supposed to be Gandalf. And I don't think it's supposed to be Sauron either. One thing that I will tell you for the next episode here in a second is the fact that they make it clear that she was looking in the wrong place. So their fake plot that Galadriel was hunting him in the north, she finds out for the plot that she was looking in the wrong place, that Sauron is in the south. Okay? That's what we start seeing in the second episode. Maybe one of the blue wizards. That's one of my guesses. Because he has to, like, I mean, it still seems kind of weird for him to come down as a meteor into a meteorite, but I think maybe that's what it is. I think that it might have something to do with the fact that it just might be one of the blue wizards. Yeah, Big Joe. Well, watch the next episode. She does run into somebody in the ocean, Big Joe. So, but yes, that is her only option, which seems like, okay, well, I know she's like an elf, but it seems like you're just going to get lost in the ocean indefinitely and die. There's a limit to their ability to be like infinitely not tired and infinitely not cold. Yeah, it wouldn't make sense if he was Gandalf, Peter, is what you're saying? Yeah, I don't think in any way, even if they're not doing non-canon total storyline, I don't think it would make sense to be Gandalf. The Blue Wizards came first, and they came in the Second Age, Big Joe. Yes, correct. So that is why a lot of us are guessing it's either, it could be, maybe it's Sauron pretending to be, but again, Sauron came as a fair form. I don't think he'd come as this old-looking guy. So I think it's on the Blue Wizards. Yeah, just spawn. Yeah. Well, I mean, I would assume they would come, like, because I thought they came to Middle-earth from, they came to Valinor, I thought, and then they came over on a ship, but I don't remember the exact details off the top of my head. The circus kid and Flick Me. I think they were just like created. I don't remember how Tolkien explains it, but exactly. All right, so we need to do let me set up the next thing here. I might have to give you guys another link for the next watch party here for my people who are, so I'm gonna end watch party. I'm gonna give you guys a new link to join up for the second one here. All right, so let's get episode 2 ready here. We can keep talking, though, about stuff. Yeah, there's definitely... So, the thing is, again, this is adaptation, right? That they don't have a whole ton of rights to the Silmarillion, right? Oh, what? Oh, no. Don't do that. Oh, that's annoying. Oh, hold on one second. I'm trying to figure out why it just did that to me. All right, we're going to restart this. And then I'm going to go ahead. Ah, stop it! This thing's being annoying. Alright. I'm going to make a new watch party here. Everyone hold on to your horses. Okay. Alright, shareable link. Here we go. It's in the chat. Everybody click this real quick. Rejoin. I'm going to pause this and reset that timer. Yeah, so anyway, there's a lot of stuff that, I mean, isn't canon, obviously. Now, I see how they're doing it to tie into actual lore, right, of actual stuff. But again, guys, nothing's ever going to be fully canon from a book, right? Peter Jackson got the closest I think you can to making something just perfect, but also be rather following canon rather well. But even then, when Peter Jackson made the Lord of the Rings series, you guys, a lot of people didn't like it because there was so much taken out, there was so much missed, he changed some things, but again, we all enjoyed it. So I don't think, I'm not going to hold a candle that this series will be nearly as good as Peter Jackson's at all, but hopefully it's decent still. Yeah, I mean, it could definitely, maybe it could be Sauron. I just think it's kind of weird, though, because, well, you'll see in a minute. Who finds him? The wizard. You guys, we're going to get just like a 5-minute little break to talk right now and do bathroom breaks. If you guys need a restroom break, go for it real quick. And everyone click the link that I have here, right here, or down there in the chat. Click, like, if you're going to rejoin the watch party. There was 8 of us in there, so I have a new link for the second one set up. Yeah, Zone, it does feel like, but remember, Zone, a lot of this stuff is mentioned in the appendices. So there's a lot of stuff that overlaps in the appendices of the Lord of the Rings and the Hobbit that are also in the history of the Silmarillion. But again, a lot of people are like, oh, it's completely not canon. And it's like, no, a lot of it isn't canon. I totally agree. But there is stuff that is, a lot of people have been saying there's nothing canon in this series so far. And I've already counted like 10 or, a lot of huge points are canon points that they're using. And not to mention, I really feel like Elrond is like Elrond. A lot of people are saying he's not like Elrond, and I don't see that at all. I just don't. There's a couple things he says that may be okay. It doesn't really feel like Elrond, but the majority, like 95% of what he said, he felt like Elrond. He felt like the actor who plays him in Lord of the Rings to me. But yeah, exactly, Zone, exactly. Like, it's obviously a lot of it is canon. Morgoth destroyed the 2 trees with Ungoliant, right? Like, we know that we know the fact that King Gil-galad is the king, and Elrond's his right-hand guy, which that's all canon. Everything Galadriel says at the beginning of the that intro is almost all canon information that they're just kind of skipping through the lore, right? Except for the part where she says the only thing that's not really canon in that whole beginning sentences is when she starts telling us that Finrod was hunting Sauron and Sauron found him first and killed him. That's not actually really what happened. Finrod, her brother, went to help. Is it Turin? Wait, one of them? One of the people, and he got put in Sauron's prison. He had to fight a werewolf or a warg or something it was, and he got killed, which they do hint at in the beginning, because if you look at his arm, he's got the scrapes on it. Now, what's not canon is that little symbol that's put into his skin, branded into his skin, and that we're seeing that symbol over and over. That's a made-up symbol for Rings of Power. But Nerd of the Rings, actually, Matt, in his review on it, was saying his guess was he thinks that symbol is supposed to be Mordor. If you take it and match it up with a Mordor map, it kind of looks like Mordor a little bit. And I was like, that's very interesting. It could be. But like a symbol to tell where Sauron is. But it'd be kind of silly, though, that all the elves' wisdom wouldn't figure that out. So I don't know. We'll see. Maybe it's just supposed to be like an Eye of Sauron. You know what I mean? Kind of like from the series. Yeah. Oh, it's B. Yeah. This next episode, you guys, I think episode 2 is better than episode 1. I think it is. And the relationship you'll see between Elrond and Durin is great. I really, really liked it. I was very, very pleasantly surprised. And Durin feels like a dwarf. He feels like a dwarf, a lovable dwarf like the Hobbit movies. Like, he's great. Now, the whole part, what you're going to see in the second one, I won't say any more than this, but there's a lot of stuff that happens in the water, right, with Galadriel. All of it's not canon. One creature they add is not necessarily something that's mentioned very much, but Tolkien definitely mentions there are occasional sea monsters, and he calls them something in the books in one passing. So, not even though it's made up, it's not unbelievable from the stories. Yes. Yeah, Peter, exactly. So there's a lot of stuff that was non-canon in the movie that helped guide you through the story. For example, Azog chasing the hobbits in the Hobbit movies, that was all not canon. Azog was not chasing them with a group of orcs. That was all made up for the Hobbit. I was okay with it because they were trying to make it more adventurous, right? Than just the generic adventure of them traveling. They were being chased, right? Again, I wasn't a huge fan of that. But again, this whole thing, the real thing that I don't see that it is canon, these first 2 episodes, is the fact that Galadriel's kind of, she took up the mantle to avenge her brother because he was hunting Sauron, which was not canon. He was not hunting Sauron. He did get killed by Sauron in his dungeon, but he was not hunting Sauron. But then she's, hunting Sauron. And then, it's kind of how they're leading us into the story. And then, of course, Bronwyn and the elf we just saw in that one lady, that's not canon either. But, I mean, they're trying to show a story of the South separate, which, again, I said, right, in my reviews, that it'd be cool if they did more stories about the South with Harad and stuff. So, again, totally okay with me to have a side thing like that that's not canon, because I think that's cool to just have more lore. I mean, that's what's fun. We can add fan lore with these adaptations. But I just hope that they hold true to the main plot things. Again, one of the reasons, my only thing I don't like about this first episode you saw is the fact that Galadriel is obsessed and so defiant, she's a young upstart, teenager. That did not feel like Galadriel to me at all. But there are parts where she speaks, and I really like her as an actress because she really does a good job with flipping with different acting, where she really reminds me of the original actor for Galadriel and Peter Jackson's. And there are parts that make me go, oh, that's Galadriel. But there's a whole lot of this defiance thing and obsession that I don't like that she has. But my hope is by episode 3, we're going to see that changing. It's going to lead into the Galadriel we know from the Lord of the Rings movies. But I hope that is the case. I hope that will kind of happen, Maybe it's the Hand of Sauron. Okay, Chaos. That's a good theory. Yeah, the carving was really cool, Big Joe. That they showed Húin and Luthien. Yes, very, very neat. I like that little hint at that. Which, again, they don't have a lot of rights to that, but that's mentioned a little bit so they can show a little image of that. I'm sure they had a little, for example, I think the Balrog we see in the trailer looks a lot like the Balrog from the New Line Cinema. So I think, obviously, they probably got some rights. They asked New Line Cinema, hey, can we make your Balrog look kind of similar? And they're like, okay, sure. I'm sure there's a little bit of that. Now, the Hand of Sauron, the only thing with that theory is the fact that I don't think he'd be alive at this point, Night Chaos. I'm not quite sure how old the Hand of Sauron is, but I don't think he'd be over 400 or 500 years old, and I'm pretty sure at this point this is 1,000 years before that. Be funny if that kid we're seeing is the Hand of Sauron. Oh, dude, that would be so crazy. Because I never mentioned the Hand of Sauron's actual name, the Black Númenórean. Would that be freaky? But I don't think he is if the kid is supposed to be a Black Númenórean. I think he's supposed to be some kid from Harad. But unless he has Númenórean blood, because he's his father left that you'll see in the second episode. So I don't know. Yeah, it's disappointing too to me, Peter, a little bit with that, because Galadriel is a super strong character, and she is strong in her feminine ways, and people need to be proud of that, because I admire women who are strong, independent women, but it does seem like they're trying to almost push that away and say, oh, Galadriel as a woman, it doesn't matter. She needs to be like a man, and it's no, she's an awesome character. Don't mess with her. But let's just give it a few more episodes. There are parts that I really liked, and the actress they picked, I think she's a really good actress. She's an amazing character still, Galadriel, as in the actress herself. But some of the lines, I just don't. I think they're too intense for her. And again, I don't really mind that she's using a sword, but yeah, making her use a sword so much almost makes her seem inferior to her Lord of the Rings version, and with Cate Blanche, because Cate Blanche just, with her hand in The Hobbit and just blows that orc away with magic. I kind of would like to see some more magic, because Galadriel is already thousands of years old at this point, so it's not like she's a weak teenager, even though I know they're kind of portraying it like that. So these are my thoughts that I'll put in the review video too, but it's fun to talk about, right? There was a spider that was bigger than Shelob. Yes, Knight, that is Ungolianth, the spawn of darkness. Yeah, I don't think we're going to hear about that because that was farther in the past, Knight, unless they show us a flashback. But I don't think, Night Chaos, that they have the rights to that right now because that's in the Silmarillion and the Unfinished Tales. And I don't think that's in the appendices that they have the rights to in the Lord of the Rings and the Hobbits. So I don't think we'll see that. But yes, that was Ungolianth. She's like the first spider, and she's the one that spawned all the spiders. And she is spawned from darkness. She's just evil that came from the darkness of the void. And Morgoth allies with her, and Morgoth almost gets killed by her, and his Belrugs have to come and save him. So, from her, because she is very, very, very strong. So it's the one time one of the gods, Morgoth, feared death because he thought he was going to be swallowed by darkness, by Ungolianth. So yeah, pretty scary. Yeah, Peter, I would have preferred them to keep Galadriel as a main character, but more on the side, and then just had a new protagonist that was made up to do all these things. Some elf, maybe, that was... I agree with that. I think that would have been a better choice. But again, of course, you know, they want to have the big name of Galadriel as the main character, so... kind of a catch-22, right? Yes, Ungolianth was much bigger than Shelob. Shelob's like the size of a house, and Ungolianth, I don't know if she could change her size, but she was like a mountain. Like, she is scary. It depends on different artwork. Some portray her as massive, and some portray her as more of a, you know, 3 or 4 times the size of an elephant kind of thing. Maybe John. Yeah. Maybe Jethros. That could be it. They might be like when she gets when she gets her ring of power, then she'll start using a lot more magic because it'll amplify her natural magic. Now the rings of power just amplify, so she should already have some magic. So I'm not quite sure why they haven't shown any yet. But let's wait till see episode 3. We don't see an episode 2, but we should get going and watch episode 2 now. Yeah, it is funny. I mean, it also shows you how terrifying Ungolianth was. That she was just the spawn of darkness. She was just created because the darkness and evil was there as she came out of it. Kind of like Tom Bombadil, it kind of just appeared. He was kind of like the spirit and song of the world. There's a question. Does Ungolianth or Tom Bombadil win? I mean, I would say, I think Tom Bombadil will win, but that's just me. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know. I have no idea. It would be cool, Night Chaos. It would be really cool. I would like to see that. Yeah, oh, she's big. She's really big, Peter. Absolutely. She's huge. Yeah, exactly. The fighting god with the hunter, whatever, right? He's like chasing Morgoth. Oh my gosh. Okay, so you guys, I see 8 people back in the party, and then I'm gonna start the timer. We're gonna start episode 2 here. Now that we've had some fun discussion. But I need 1 minute. I'm going to use the restroom, and I'll be right back. So grab your snacks. Be back in 1 minute. Alrighty. You guys ready to start? Shelob is a baby. Yes, Shelob is very tiny. I thought it was freaky how in Shadows of Mordor they made Shelob have like a form she could turn into a human. That is not canon in Shadows of Mordor, by the way. Alright, I got myself a popsicle. I'm happy. Oh, thank you. Yeah. I got the Witch King helmet back here. Got some more statues. I've done the unboxing review of this sword, of the Witch King sword. I have not done a review of the helmet or the mace. I really do plan on doing that soon, guys. You guys have been so awesome on the channel. I've been doing so many other videos, but I have so many replicas to review, so I'm gonna attempt to start doing that soon. Oh, babe, not baby. Yeah, you're commenting on the form, right? From Shadows of Mordor. I know what you're talking about. A map of Middle-earth? Nice. A reversed map, yes, I know. It's kind of, you kind of got the flip effect going. I have a mirrored, I like the way it looks like this because when I look at the screen, I'm looking usually at the game from the corner. Yeah. Are you talking about Sauron? That's technically what this is. Oh, you're talking about the Witch King's spinning morning star? No, I don't have that. I don't know if they ever made an actual replica of that United Cutlery. I've never seen that. But that would be really cool. Alright, guys, we're going to start the video. Is everyone linked up? Who's here and ready? I have people in the watch party. I'm going to click start here on the watch party. Yes, the Witch King. I do not have his morning star. I don't think they made a replica of that from United Cutlery. I'd be really fun to find out if they did. Alright, I'm going to start the timer down here on the bottom. And then we're going to push play on episode 2 here. Rings of Power. Cutlery, we swear. Alright, here we go. Ready? 3, 2, 1, go. Episode 2, here we go. Yummy. Oh, we get the recap. Again, this is all not canon. The fortress is so cool, though. Now, the evil being everyone wanted the evil to be gone, that is kind of canon, but Celebrimbor. Night. I see that. Oh, it grosses me out so much, that cow thing. Yeah, I know, Peter. It's like, great. That's what I need to see in my mind. Trying to draw. It's Meteor Man. That one I'm going to keep making fun of until they actually show me anything. Okay, I love the beginning, you guys. I love this little effect they do with the rocks. Like, is it just computer generation? Are they using magnets? Is it wind? Like, what are they doing to do this? It's so cool. I know, he didn't even wipe it off his hands. I know, Evans. What the heck? It's gross, man. Have some hygiene, elf. We know you have, like, immortal body that doesn't get sick, but gee. Yeah. Well, it's not, Peter, it's not just Game of Thrones that have done that now, too. Like, everyone's been doing that for the last 2 or 3 years. Like, a really fancy, like, cool effects opening. I like it. I think it's cool. I like that a lot of series are doing that. Now, I will say, too, so far, those first 2 episodes, I like the fact that it looks really high quality and good like Game of Thrones with filming, but that it doesn't really feel like Game of Thrones, like the visuals. I think it's good. Because, you know, Game of Thrones doesn't have a monopoly on that kind of filming, right? They did a good job with their filming and video. Oh, totally we can see Mama kill. I know the New Line Cinema movie that'll be out later on is the anime, The War of the Rohirrim. That'll definitely have Mama kill in it. Just won't be live. The stars. Yeah, the Wheel of Time opener was cool. I realized how much the Wheel of Time author got inspiration from Tolkien after I watched that. I don't think Mama Killer are necessarily unlikely. Oh, that makes sense, Night Chaos. That's pretty cool. I didn't think about that. I love how they show the perspective of how big he is compared to how small she is. I'm really glad he has a loincloth on, though. I'd be so annoyed if they were like, butt shot. Like, no! Imagine it was an orc. Super epic, but so random. Yeah, exactly, Zone. True. Harvane. True. This whole part is very funny, though. I thought, it's made up. His hair, man. Alright, thanks, Zone. It's alright. I can do, here. Oh, I can't. Never mind. Next time I could do ultra low latency for the stream. It can be glitchy, though. If it bothers you guys with the 10-second delay, you could always time it with this, so that you're on the same spot as us on the stream. Peter, we're all doomed. Yeah, it's pretty funny. Okay, this part is actually kind of hilarious. They just let the poor guy roll down the hill in a wheelchair. Pretty slapstick. Yeah, you have to have a subscription to Amazon Prime or any of the Amazon things to join. It's just like Netflix or Disney Plus or all the other ones. Unfortunately. And if you do make one, you can join our actual watch party with this link on the Amazon thing. Yeah, what Harvane said is that's what we're trying to do right now. But that link will give you, you'll connect directly to us on the Amazon account. They have a watch party system in there. But I can't stream it for YouTube. It'll copyright things. Oh, nice. Well, in 40 minutes, when this episode's over, we'll talk about it for a while. You're welcome to hang out the whole time. We'll say little things in between, but we'll have a discussion at the end, for sure, for like 20 minutes. So what you're saying, Zone, is they did a good job. They got you to join the... Just kidding. I use it for other things, too. Alright, so now we flip back. We're back with the characters in Mordor area. And they came to the village, right? They got... Something happened to the village. We don't know yet. Yeah, Peter, it's a good point. Seems a little unrealistic. Especially since he's like an elven soldier. That he wouldn't be like... Like now he realizes. Also, why would you go in a hole? I'd not just go warn your troops that something's happening. Doesn't make sense to me. But, you know, that wouldn't make as cool and epic as a scary story if he didn't go down the dark, scary hole. Oh, dude, this is great. Look at this shot, you guys. I know it's delayed for some of you, but... Aregian, or Aregian, as some say. I love it. Looks amazing. I love this whole part. I hope they make a replica of that. I want that replica. I want it. Oh, good, Zone. Maybe we refreshed it. Oh yes, Shadow Gamer. We're going to play it when it comes out next year. I love this part. So there's so many parts about this that's so cool. I love this whole part. How far outside? Yes! Khazad-dûm! This whole part is awesome too, by the way. Look at these views of New Zealand. These shots. It's so good, dude. Brings you right into the Misty Mountains feel. All right, sounds good, Big Joe. Thanks for hanging out. Yes, we'll see you in the next stream. We'll keep watching. Oh, the Dwarven armor, Peter. The fact that you'll see, guys, they have actual beard defenders, like in the actual lore. I was so happy. And there's the comment for a Gimli later. No. Judgment has only been rendered, elf. Oh. So there's so much about the last scene with him talking with him at a Region or Region, and then this whole scene right here with Khazad-dûm, that it's so good. And I'll cover it in my review later. I don't want to talk over it because it's too epic. I want you to enjoy. Oh, the music. Listen to that music, you guys. Oh, look at those helmets. And their beards. Look at how long their beards are. It's gorgeous. Gosh, dude. It's just what I've been saying in all my Literature Tale series. Look at that. The mirrors. I was right with my guess about the mirrors and the gardens. This is the true glory of Khazad-dûm. So, this whole rite is made up. It's for the story. It's something. I think it's kind of like a fun thing for them. Again, some of these guys look awesome. Yeah, I did too, Peter. I think that the rock breaking is better, but I also thought it was gonna be a drinking contest at first. I still think some of the dwarf women should have some kind of beard. But you do see one character later, she has a little bit of hair right here. So they did a little bit. Not sure why they changed that. It's their adaptation now, I guess. Yeah, Peter. Exactly. I definitely think he's probably like one of the wizards. It would make most sense if he's one of the blue wizards. And he's huge. Like, he's even bigger than a human. And Gandalf is huge, too. So... Night Chaos, I thought that too. I don't know why it banned your... it removed your thing, but I also thought it might be Tom Bombadil. But Tom Bombadil was created at the same time the world was created, Night Chaos, so... this is... the world's been created for a long time already, so... Tom Bombadil should already be here, technically. It would really be off canon if they made it Tom Bombadil. For timeline. It wouldn't be off canon for one of the blue wizards to show up in the Second Age, though. Or he might just be a made-up character. Well, that's true. That's true. Gandalf wasn't that big in the books. They made him a lot taller in the movies than Peter Jackson's. He just eats the shell and all. Yeah, they definitely could have Tom Bombadil in the series, but yeah, he should have been here way previous, this character. But, I mean, if they change that, I'll be kind of annoyed, but maybe. Who knows? I don't think he is, though. It's a good thought, though, because I did also think Tom Bombadil when I first saw him, Night Chaos, when the images came up before the series and teasers. I think it's coincidence. Let everyone see real quick and then. Yeah, I think it was supposed to be coincidence. Just a visual, scene changer. Very stressful. Oh, guys, I broke my ankle back in high school. It looks really bad like that. Ugh. I still remember how it felt. Yeah, it looked really painful. Oh, that's true, Jethros. Good point. You think he did cause it? Huh. Maybe. I guess we'll find out, right? In the next episodes, too. It'll answer that question for us if we see him do other things. Oh, like the raptors, yeah. Okay, again, yeah, her just swimming. I like the fact that she's just in a dress. She's like, yeah, I'll just swim to the ocean. Now, I think this whole scene goes on a little long with the ocean, but I do like the thing in the water. Yeah, they didn't do the map thing. I would have liked to see the map thing a little bit more. I hope they don't stop doing that in the next episodes and they only do it in the first episode. Be kind of disappointed. I think it helps people who don't know the maps, too, or just keep kind of our minds in where we are in the world, since they're flipping between it. Night. That's Halo. That's not. Yeah, Peter. I do agree with that. All right, so thanks for hanging out. See you, bro. Have a good night. Thanks for hanging out with us. I do like the part with this creature, though. He did, Peter. So again, Tolkien does mention Sea Zone. Thanks for hanging out. A water type creature dragon. So yeah, and that lady went from being like this great, nice person to a horrible human being. So yikes. Yeah, I don't know. I kind of feel like maybe they're gonna have to kill it later. I don't know. I think that'll be a little side plot. I have no idea. Don't worry, Night Chaos. I can tell you they're not going to do that. But I also had that feeling when I saw that tail shot. I'm like, oh no, she's going to be like, it's just angry at you because you stabbed it with a spear. It's like, no, it wants to eat you because it's a freaking dragon monster. Again, this whole scene's a little long, in my opinion. But I would have been happy with just the part where it destroys their ship. This is all made up. 2. I actually like this guy's character, even though he's made up. Galadriel. The monsters. Halbrand's a very good, you know, Numenorian, Gondorian name. Yeah, Peter, it's a good point. Like, what's she gonna do if she found Sauron? Like, does she think she has the power to kill him? That's why it doesn't make sense with their whole side plot anyway. Maybe she thinks she can. I don't know. Remember, they were friends, he said. True. I think he did be. Okay. Look at these visuals, you guys. And they've got freaking elevators, which makes so much sense. The dwarves would have that in Khazad-dûm. I love this part. I like that they show the passage of time difference between elves and other races. And anyway, it gets better. It gets better. True, Peter. Staying for dinner. I like how she just crushes him. I love that. He's leaving. He's staying. Oh. His like special helmets. She is a really likable character. Not too comfortable. It's so well done, this whole part. And again, I like her character so far in this, at least in these first 2 episodes. And now he sees this tree, which they'll talk about in a second. But so if you notice, her chin actually has a little bit of hair right here, like beard hair. So they like did a little bit. Exactly, Peter. This whole part, same thing. That's what I thought. He just looks at his friend. It was 5. Should have been at the wedding, elf. That's how it starts. I like how she says Owlier's beard, sort of like Merlin's beard, but with the Smith god. So he... Very good with words as always. Her eyes. I love her eyes. Really cool eyes. Yeah, the lighting is fantastic in the series so far. I love that. It's not so dark you can't see anything. I love it so good. Her eyes. Are you angry? Yes. That's it. Anyway, that whole part is so well done. Khazad-dûm, like, and the relationship between Durin and Elrond and the wife, and like seeing the people of the dwarves, it was so well done. There was a symbol again that you were talking about. Yeah, it's so good, Night Chaos. He's like, sit. I'm still angry. It was. It really was. Which is could be considered a shame, but honestly, I love dwarves, so. Again, I'm hoping that we finish this in episode 3 next week. Yeah. It'd be pretty bad to be stranded on the ocean. I love the ocean, but I would not want to be stranded in the middle of it on a piece of floating wood. Again, she's got too much obsession. And this is where you learn from the side made-up plotline that she's been looking in the wrong place this whole time for Sauron. I don't know. I don't think so. I think he's a made-up character, Peter, because the first king of Gondor is Eladin, this is not, I know. And then the first king, or no, excuse me, I think it's Isildur, isn't it? And Eladin is the king of Arnor, which is the father and son, 2 kingdoms that they set up after Numenor falls, which we'll probably see in this series. Awesome music again. All right, so she gets back to town. This is where... He's gonna kill those mice and rats. All right, if you have problems with claustrophobicness, you might not want to watch this next, like, 1 minute. This part kind of bothers me a little bit. So you see scratch marks, he finds a claw or a nail. I think, Night Chaos, you're probably onto something. Yeah, it's no kidding, Peter. Yeah, if you don't like really suspenseful things, they made it quite suspenseful. It's pretty scary. They show you, though, how truly scary these things are. You don't really see a lot of, like, individual interactions with creatures like this in the Lord of the Rings movies. It's always like with a group you're fighting, right? Yeah, I don't know why he went down the tunnel in the first place. Doesn't make any sense. I originally guessed those were Ents trying to save him from something, but I think I'm wrong on that one. Uh-oh. Where's her kid? Okay, I found this whole part very realistic. Yep. Exactly, Peter. That's why I said I'm pretty sure my guess was wrong, because I remember that. Of course, they tricked us in the trailer how they switched scenes originally. Remember, they have no idea what this thing is. They haven't been around for years. Exactly, B. It has the sword in the back. The kid stuck the sword in its back. I like that she actually had weapons in her home to protect herself from, like, normal brigands, probably. Well, there's so much there that was good about that part, because it shows how big one goblin or one orc is to just normal people, a mom and her son, which also fought together to not leave each other to die, which I liked. I thought that was cool. And then also the fact that orcs can't go in sunlight, so that's why that orc is wearing coverings, like that weird bone thing. Like, because they can't go in sunlight. That was the whole thing when Saruman makes Uryx that can go in the sunlight, why it's so scary. And why probably he was all messed up and sunburned, because he lives in tunnels and doesn't want to come out in the sun. The orc. Anyway, this part, it makes sense that she ties herself to the thing so they don't get swept away by the waves. But what are the chances of this? Like, realistically. I mean, it's possible. What are the chances the lightning bolt would hit the very piece of wood she ties herself to on the ship? I know it's the tallest point on the ship, but It's not that high out of the water. Like, seems a little too convenient for the story plot, in my opinion. Yeah, Urukai can run in the daylight without any shadow effect or clouds. Yeah, Saruman. Did I say Saruman? Did I say Sauron? I meant Saruman. He crossbred them, like, with when he made them in the mud with humans, too. Night. Where's the Master Chief? Is he gonna save him? Music's pretty awesome here. The water effects in this part are really well done, too. All right. We're back to... Again, they didn't show us the map. I don't like it. They're not showing the map now in the second episode, which makes me kind of a bummer. We're back at the Hobbits, which are north of Mordor. They're more near Rune, apparently, according to where they put the hobbits in the story. Because they're just wandering. And again, this guy's a total mystery. Well, that's what I thought, but they've moved now 3 or 4 times in episode 2, and they've only showed it in episode 1. So maybe they just assume everyone will remember where these characters are from episode 1. So they haven't shown anything in episode 2. I kind of liked how they were showing the map every time they moved scenes. But we kind of know where they are now in our minds, I guess. I guess that's their idea. If they show Numenor, they'll probably show where it is on the map again, is my guess. A new place. Jump scare, yeah. Here's another hint that makes me think he's a wizard. He does the whole Gandalf talk to the bug thing. True. I thought it might be Radagast, but I think most realistically, they're going to use someone that isn't super fleshed out in the story. Would be one of the Blue Wizards. I don't know why he'd have no memories when he came. That's kind of weird. I also thought the Blue Wizards came together. That's another thing that kind of conflicting. Oh yeah, Night Chaos, yeah. I mean, it could make sense that he's Radagast, younger Radagast. Again, I could see him as the Radagast kind of, but... I'm gonna laugh really hard if the stars he wants him to find is just the other Blue Wizard. They're like, we got separated on Transcent, Middle Earth. Boo, that'd be really. I mean, that'd be okay, I guess. The story. It's Denethor. Oh no. He doesn't know, he says. A little bit of distrust there is realistic. So what do you guys think they have in this box that they're not wanting to tell the elves about? What's found in Khazad-dûm and the Second Age? You don't get to see it though, guys, in this episode. You can guess. And if you know, then you have somewhat followed Lord of the Rings. Unfortunately, Peter, no, that is an Erebor. Yeah, well, this is Khazad-dûm. This is in the Misty Mountains. Erebor is in the far northeast. It's a different mountain, different range. It's all solo. The Arkenstone is found in Erebor. But Erebor hasn't even been founded yet. That's hundreds of years from now. In Khazad-dûm, what do they tell us about in the movies? What material is found in Khazad-dûm in Moria? Yes, there you go. Harvane's got it. It's mithril. It's the legendary material mithril that's only found in Khazad-dûm. From so far what people have found. Yes, exactly, Peter. Exactly. Everybody. Yes, Knight. You were close. You guys are right. Those are the big things found by the dwarves. Mithril is found in Khazad-dûm, and a lot of gems and other things. And the Arkenstone was found in the heart of the mountain of Erebor, which is other area. They're kind of the main two big cities. There's three, really, that you hear about a lot. There's Khazad-dûm, and then four. Khazad-dûm, Erebor, which is far away to the northeast. And then to the west is Thorin's Hall later, after Erebor is sacked. That's founded. That land. And then, of course, back when they first woke up, it was the northern Misty Mountains, Gundabad, which you see a lot in Lotro right now I'm playing. But Gundabad and Khazad-dûm are the oldest two that are still around. Because another two fortresses they talk about in the First Age got sunk. So that was very fancy music there at the end. Someone found her. Seemed like someone epic. My guess for that character for episode 3, it's probably Isildur from Numenor. I think that's probably who finds her. Or somebody from Numenor. That music, though, is awesome. This, like, dwarven... Daw. It's really cool. Daw, dee, daw. Well, yeah, in Moria... Basically, they kept digging deeper and deeper because they were finding mithril, yes, and other materials. And they were expanding their land more and more and more. And then they stumble upon a sleeping Belrog who escaped the War of Wrath and basically went and hid. And he hid himself in the mountain. So really, really deep. And the dwarves didn't realize. And a lot of people joke because they're like, oh, the dwarves dug too greedily, too deep. My one friend gave me a meme one time. He's like, well, the elves knew about the Belrog and they didn't tell the dwarves. It's the elves' fault. Just a joke, but it was funny. Yes, they wake up the Belrog. All right, well, that was pretty awesome. I'm going to close that. I don't know. I'm going to pause this. Anyway, we're going to... Boop. There we go. All right. So now... Oh, wrong one. You need to see your words. This one. There we go. Anyway, my friends, that was fun. So what do you guys think? What are your thoughts on it? What are your first impressions? I would love to hear a couple of your guys' impressions. Like, Like, what's your overall rating? And then you can kind of pick it apart and what's your favorite part and stuff. Because, like, for me, those first 2 episodes are, like, when I watched them over the whole thing, if I kind of just push out the fact that I don't really like how they made Galadriel kind of, like, obsessed a little bit, more like a teenager, a little spontaneous, a little bit, you know, single-minded, not thinking about other things. Besides that, like, I rated the whole first 2 episodes at 8.5, and I actually liked a lot of the made-up characters, which was, like, huge in my book. And I was really worried about Disa, the dwarf, because of what the actress said herself. But she was obviously just putting on her own views of the world onto it, because her acting was wonderful and her character is endearing so far, at least in episode 2. We'll see what happens later on. But I really thought she was a good character. Like, I loved the relationship between Durin and how he was kind of angry at Elrond because Elrond was just gone for 20 years, and Elrond doesn't even think it's a big deal because he's an elf. He's like, oh, it's been 20 years? And it's like, it was interesting to see the difference between age and time with a dwarf or a human and elves. How elves just don't even really think about it because they live so long. They're just, you know, Tolkien never really says they're immortal, but they're basically immortal. But, and the dwarves are like, you know, the dwarves, like, I mean, dwarves don't live a short time. Dwarves live between 300 and 400 years. They live a lot longer than humans. But still, immortal practically versus a dwarf that lives 20 years is a long time for a dwarf still. It's a long time. Yeah, Peter. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. I bump it up to an 8.5 out of 10 just because of the part with the dwarves and Khazad-dûm, because I really, really enjoyed it for these first 2 episodes. I would say I'm about the same with you. I would say overall, the whole thing is like a 7 out of 10 for me. Just because I know that they're making the fake storylines, which again, it's not gonna be all 100% canon. We all knew that. But since they kind of changed Galadriel's personality so much, I don't see a lot of people are saying that they don't think Elrond is a good character and they think Elrond is bad or something. I'm confused on that one because I thought Elrond acted a lot like the actor who acts him in the Lord of the Rings TV series, and he feels a lot like the character from the book. He feels like Elrond to me. Now, he feels a little bit like a younger Elrond, but he is younger at that point. He's several thousand years younger. So, I don't know. I think Elrond is well done. I like the fact that because they made her persona a little different, that Elrond's persona towards her kind of anger, but even though she's his friend, that he still is he's so like loyal to her in the way that he gives her good advice, and at the same time he's respectful to her and like very good with his words still, which makes me think of Elrond again. Yeah. Again, even though she's not really canon, her personality, Elrond to me feels very canon. That's me. I can understand people disagree with that. That's fine. All right. I don't think they should keep stories separate for too long. They got to bring the primary arc. Yes, of course. Now, I would assume episodes, you know, the first season might be what they use to bring all these story arcs, even if they're not canon arcs, which like are Galadriel's, together. And then I think probably like season 2 will be like, okay, we're on the big thing, right? Now we're dealing with Numenor. We have to deal with Sauron. He's corrupting the Numenorians or something, you know, in season 2. That's my guess. I think we're going to start seeing parts of that in this first season. That's my guess. Yeah, no. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I have also heard that, Harvey. I totally disagree. I don't know if you guys do. I totally disagree with that. I think that Elrond was really well done. I think that I liked it that he seemed very tough when he needed to be with Galadriel's, you know, her made up persona of being kind of aggressive, with her like one-minded. But he was really kind to her. And then also with Celebrimbor, when he says, "You've stolen my heart and the hearts of many other elves," he makes that comment. And I thought that comment was fine. Because, I mean, Celebrimbor is a legend in the Elven Smiths. And, I don't remember if Elrond actually helps a lot with Celebrimbor, but I'm pretty sure he does travel around between Rhaegon and Lindon or Region. Some people say it should be called a Region, the way that Tolkien writes his, but and then of course the character in the show just called it a Rhaegon next to Khazad-dûm. The hair? Oh, Yeah. Okay. So when it comes to hair, it's their adaptation. Excuse me, I can't even say the word right now. Their adaptation, and I understand that they didn't do beards for the females, and a lot of the elves, male elves, have shorter hair. I think this has to do with the fact that they're trying to bring it into our age right now, our pop culture more, and I think they're just like they want people to be able to easily distinguish that's a guy elf, that's a girl elf, that kind of thing. I don't think they need to do that, though, because Orlando Bloom looked great with long hair. I don't know about you guys, but he still looks very elven manly to me, but I don't know. Actually, it kind of freaks me out when I see him with short hair, honestly. But, and then, actually, Disa, if you noticed, she had, like, a little bit of like, beard fuzz right here. So they did give her, like, a little bit of beard. Did you notice that? They didn't see that in any of the artwork of the things, but she did have a little bit of a beard. So I was like, okay, well, there's a little tuft there. That's better. You know what I mean? Because Peter Jackson had a lot of, they had a lot of art that Howard Shore, or not Howard Shore, John Howe. Yeah. He did a lot of the art for the Peter Jackson's Hobbit, and a lot of the females and like younger dwarves that were girls, they had really beautiful hair and big hair like that, and they looked like a girl, but they had like little like tufts of hair. So, I mean, that made me happy to see she had a little tuft. When we watched, I was like, okay, all right, that's fine. That's better for me. Because again, I think they don't want it to be. I know that Tolkien, kind of hints at the dwarf women have beards in one of his things. He really does say that. It's a real letter he wrote to someone. It's not in his book, but he wrote the letter, and basically it's pretty obvious that he did intend dwarf women have beards. But I don't think it would be game changing to not have that. If that makes sense. I mean, I still think they should have more beard than she has. That's my opinion. But I understand why they didn't do it in our culture. They wanted to make it like more like, oh, she's a woman dwarf, right? She's not a man. They didn't want to make it like you can't tell the difference kind of thing. I think they were just probably worried to just keep it where it's easy for people to distinguish if they're not big Lord of the Rings lore fans, right? They could tell the difference. Yeah, exactly, Peter. Yeah, you sound like you have the exact same opinion as me there. What you're saying. Exactly. That's what yeah. I don't know. Again, I can see the frustration that some people have with it being like, oh, they're just trying to make it's all about like, women power. But the thing is, for me, I'm like, I already think Galadriel and these other characters that Tolkien put in his books are super strong, amazing women characters, whether they be elf or human. And I don't think we need to be doing more, like trying to like up it, because they're already amazing. It's like you're undermining the fact that they're already amazing. Does that make sense? Like, I don't know. That's, yeah, I'm hoping that they'll make Galadriel turn more into in the next few episodes, turn more into a more regal character, where she's like, she doesn't need to be I'm going to go do this and kill everyone. She's going to be like, I know that I'm awesome, and I will deal with it with awesome elegance. That's Galadriel in my mind. I don't know. What do you guys think about that? I think that. Yeah, all the dwarf stuff was great. I was stoked because I was really worried, but these first 2 episodes really made me go, okay, I think the dwarves are going to be good. Again, we have more episodes. I don't want to fully commit to things because we could be taken aback, be totally like flipped on, but I don't think so. It seems like they're going. I understand where the writers are going now. I don't like some of their picks with their fake storylines, what they did, but I understand where they're going. Galadriel is now going to be the character that brings us into Numenor, right? Instead of just jumping to Numenor as a new character, they want to tie her into being at Numenor, which again, I don't know how much canon is. I don't know if she ever visits Numenor. I think she might, but I think that's all going to be made up that she's there. But again, they want to tie it in, so we don't have the, like you were saying, jumping around too much for people who come into the series and are like, what's happening? Because again, that's the hardest thing. You notice they did the beginning like they did in the Lord of the Rings movies, where they give us a history with a Galadriel voiceover, which was awesome. I like that about the beginning. They give us a voiceover, and then they take us through to the time frame of what's happening, and then they add their own little plot, right, with Galadriel hunting Sauron for Finrod, even though that was made up. But it's to bring us into the big lore of the Second Age, to have some kind of foothold. Because otherwise, if you think about it, there's a lot of things known about the Second Age, but it's kind of like,
it's a huge story, and someone that's coming into it who's never read the books or seen any Lord of the Rings movies or played any of the games or even knows anything about it are going to be so confused. They're going to be like, okay, wait, what is happening? There's a giant war? Why is the island getting sunk? You know what I mean? Like, they needed something to be a catalyst. I think that's what the writers are doing. And don't forget, they don't have the rights to the Silmarillion or the Unfinished Tales, which is a big bummer and kind of sad on the part of stuff. But, I mean, the Tolkien estate doesn't want to give that up yet, so I understand that's their choice. But hopefully that isn't what causes the series to be too off-canon made up because they didn't have the rights to things. So does that make sense? But again, I'm not going to blame it on the Tolkien estate. If they really mess things up with later in other episodes, that's their fault. That's the writer's fault, right? That's their choice, what they want to do with the adaptation. Let me catch up with what you're saying here. Yeah, exactly, Peter. Because she, like, I mean, I love the fact in The Hobbit where they have her walk into the fortress barefoot in her dress, her gorgeous dress, Cate Blanche, and that orc comes up to her to kill her, and she just goes, boom, and just like he just disintegrates. That in my mind is like, she's like, I am so beyond you, orc. I'm saving Gandalf. Stand aside, right? I am the ultimate badass, right? That's Galadriel in my mind. And she does it with womanly grace and just destroys the orc. And that's what I like about her. So I'm hoping they'll take this character that they're kind of making more of a young teenagery warrior girl, and they're going to turn her into that over this next season, over the season 1. That's what I hope. Because I know they want to tie to the movies. I know they don't have rights to New Line Cinema, but of course they want to tie to the history, right? Or us fans are going to be like, we really like Peter Jackson's adaptations. Why aren't you connecting it to that, right? You know what I'm saying? We need more magic. We need more magic. She needs to do some magic. She needs to stop just being a warrior with a sword. She needs magic. Again, I really think that it would have been nice if she had done some magic at that part. Instead of punching the wall open, if she'd like done her hand and like it melted. Right? Just some simple magic, just to show that she has it, because she does have it. The rings amplify her power, but she has magic before the rings, right? The rings do not. The ring of power is not the one that gives her magic. It just amplifies it massively, right? And again, that's what Celebrimbor wants to do. What did you guys think of Celebrimbor? Like, and Elrond. I wasn't sure at first, but that whole part I loved. I love that they talked about the hammer, which should be a replica. I really want to get it if it's a replica. It's going to be right here. It's going to be sitting right there because it's gorgeous. And then also, I really like the fact that... oh man, I'm so excited. I should make review videos for you guys soon, but this is fun doing it live, talking to you guys. I really like the fact that Celebrimbor is so excited to make something to help the world. Because that's his character in the book. That's what Tolkien describes. He's an elf that's he's like this great creative ability. He's like, I'm going to make these rings of power to help the world, right? And we'll be able to use it, which of course Galadriel uses her ring to protect Lothlorien against Sauron. And Elrond uses his to protect Rivendell against Sauron. So they use these things to become so magical, these areas, these rings. So they were used for good. But again, who deceives him? Sauron deceives him, right? Who sees through Sauron? Gil-galad. What did they do with Gil-galad in this? They showed Gil-galad show that he saw the leaf corrupt, right? Like a vision. And I think that's Gil-galad already realizing something's not right here. And that I think Sauron is going to sneak in as his fair form to Celebrimbor and say, oh, I'll help you make these rings of power. These will help you greatly, right? And of course he's using them. And in secret he'll make his master ring in Mordor. Right? Right? You see where it's going, where they're building into the story? I think they've got a good thing going. There's some things I disliked about it, obviously. And again, that's kind of the hard thing because there's a real big divide right now where some people are hating it no matter what. They just hate it because they're going to hate it. And there's other people who love it, and they think if you have anything you dislike about it, you're a horrible person, right? And that's really just, it's so sad, because why can't we have like, oh, I like this part, I dislike this part, you know, I thought this was well done, I thought this was terribly done, like, because that's where I'm at, right? And most of us, so I don't get why there's that battle, and then people want to judge you, right? They're like, oh, you liked any of it? How dare you? Or, you know, oh, you hated it? How could you hate it? You must not like Tolkien, right? Like, it's just, I don't know why there's these two boats. And I've been telling you guys this for months now, I don't know why. I'm not going to be in either of those boats. I'm going to be as neutral as I can with, this is my view as Zollin Ironshield. You know, what do you guys think? Let's have fun talking about it on this channel and community. And everyone is welcome here, whether you disliked the movie, liked it, or somewhere in the middle, right? Oh, that was the biggest problem with the Warcraft movie, you say. It jumped around locations and characters so much that no one knew what they were... Yep. That is true. That is true. I really enjoyed the Warcraft movie, but a lot of people couldn't follow it because they had no idea. No idea where what was happening, where people were appearing. If they had done some maps shots like they did at the beginning of this first episode, that would have been really helpful for people to understand. Of course, I love geography of games and our real world, so I know the Tolkien's maps, I know the Warcraft maps, I know our maps. So like for me, it was easy to follow along. But as long as they said a name of where it was, but it's hard for other people because not everybody just loves geography. You know what I mean? It just knows where things are. Yeah, Elrond was really good. Yes, and I think the forge is made up, right? The forge idea. Though it makes sense that it would need a really good forge to make the Rings of Power. So yes, I think he'll make the forge, and then I think he's going to use the forge to make the Rings of Power. He's going to make all of them. He's going to make the 3 rings for the elves, the 9 rings for mortal men doomed to die, 7 for the dwarf lords, and the halls of stone. Right? Okay, you get the point. So I think they'll make those rings there. And I believe he made other rings too. But those are some of the main ones. Obviously, the Rings of Power as a series, of course, it's going to revolve around this. Yeah, and I think that it polarizes Harvey. Yeah, I agree. I definitely. And this is true. This is happening a lot the last 5 or 6 years. There's a lot of franchises that we've loved that they have really messed things up. And I mean, there is a chance that could still happen with the Rings of Power. But I think with what they have, if you look at it from a more neutral point of view, of like, what do I like, what do I dislike, compared to your knowledge of Tolkien's lore, right? And what you'd feel, and maybe what your version of Peter Jackson's, basing it off what you know from those two, and the books. I think that you could see this. So far, that's why me personally, I was bracing to watch these 2 episodes. I was bracing for disappointment. And I think a lot of people that are really seeing it bad no matter what through bad lenses are because they were bracing for it, and now it's like popular to hate on it, and vice versa because the other crowd was shoving it down everybody's throat, right, and saying if you don't like it, you're horrible, which both are just terrible stances, right? Just not good. I don't want to even go into it. I just want us to have fun on this channel, analyze it, say what we love, say what we hate about this series. But so far, I'm very excited to see. I'm keeping an open mind with the fact, too, that I'm giving them leeway that they're going to make things that aren't canon. Okay, guys? That's the thing, too. I think a lot of people were like, we want the exact history of the thing. It's like, you're not going to be able to get it because they don't have the rights. And, of course, they want to be able to bring people in who have never seen it and stuff. So I'm giving them leeway, obviously. But only so much that is in respect of Tolkien. Does that make sense? Only in so much that if they go so far that it disrespects Tolkien so blatantly, then it'll be done. I'll be like, no, that's terrible, right? Again, I got a little close with being really frustrated about Galadriel's personality. So if they don't change her personality in the next few episodes with a little bit more respect and regalness, I'll be frustrated. That'll bother me. Because that's the only thing that's kind of like gnawing at me, that I'm like, I don't really like how she's not her own normal self. She's trying to be this warrior, perfect, awesome, I'll defeat Sauron myself, I'll hunt him to the ends of the earth. I don't know about that part. But again, there's so much good that I enjoyed with visuals, and music is good, and like the costumes, the dwarf helmets, you guys, with the beards, that's in the lore. Tolkien talks about how they had, in the second and first stage, they had actual helmets that had beard protection from the dragons, because they could fight dragons where elves can't fight dragons because they get fried in their suits. But dwarves, they can get a fire blast in full suit armor and get 200-300 degrees in their armor, and they're okay because they have the ability to withstand massive heat thanks to Alu, the smith god, who made them to work in forges and mountains, right, with massive heat. So I think that's really cool that they had the beard plates. I thought the dwarves looked awesome. I also thought it was interesting that they made the dwarves in this look a lot more like dwarves of people, like us, like actual dwarves that are smaller people. Like Durin is good, but I noticed when they had actual, I think those were actually dwarf actors, midgets and dwarves, acting as the dwarves when Elrond came to cause a doom, which I thought is kind of cool, because I think that's neat that they get to act as dwarves because they're small people in real life. I think that's super cool. because I know if you guys all remember the step-ins for the hobbits in the Lord of the Rings franchise, they were awesome. You'll hear behind the scenes, they were awesome people. It's really cool. The Harfoot, what he said, who was reading the book, was supposed to be the chief of a doctor type within the community. I think he was supposed to be their chief. Yeah. Yeah, the hobbits aren't as cringy as I thought they were going to be so far. It depends on if they make the hobbits turn into like main protagonists. I don't mind them being little side protagonists, but really the main people should stay being Gil-galad, Elrond, Galadriel, Durin. Like, those are the people that are talked about in the Second Age the most. Hobbits they didn't even come around until the Third Age. But again, you could say they probably were around in the middle of the Second Age. So I think they're portraying them in the right way, portraying the hobbits in the correct way of being kind of scared and hidden and no one really knows about them because they hide all the time. So yeah, that's okay. I think it's fine. I also thought it was cool that Disa, her eyes looked really, really cool. My mom thought her looked really cool, like a dwarf, when she was watching it. She really like got, like, that character got me. I really liked it. I really thought she was really endearing. She felt like a dwarf female kind of telling her husband, like, come on. Like, it just made me think of, like, you know what normal family of people, but like with dwarves and how they would act a little bit slightly differently, but they did a really good job with that whole scene and what she said, and like where he's walking away to leave and she's like to her husband and he's like, all right, sit, I'm still angry but I'll talk. I love that. I thought that was really well done. It made me think of the stubbornness of dwarves, and that, like, you know what I mean, like I thought that was really well done. Now again, I like her character in this episode and during all of them, but we don't know if they'll change things, so we'll see. Anyway, do you guys have anything else? Any other ideas you wanted to add? Yeah, I thought it was pretty darn good. Let me refresh this. I think I might not be getting all your guys' info, because I see it popping up here and not in my main area where I can read it. Yeah, it was being a little glitchy. Let me reset it, because you guys are saying things and I'm not seeing it. All right, there we go. Doo-loo-loo-loo-loo. Oh yeah, I didn't realize my thing was not showing you guys. I gotta catch up now. Where was I? All right. Larson. Okay, that's where I fell off right here. All right, I'm back. Episode 2 in the dwarves family was nice to see. Yes, I really like to see more about dwarves. I absolutely did. She is going to war. In the trailer to see the horsemen like Bilbo. Yeah, Durin was excellent. He was a really, really good. You remember when I did that review where I was a little bit worried about what the Disa actress said, which again, I think my guess was that she was saying stuff with her opinions added in, and it wasn't really about the movie, and I think I was right. But I noticed that the Durin actor was kind of like, I don't think that's quite what it's about. But anyway, now that I've seen them acting together, they really did a good job. They were both really good actors, and it wasn't about the things. It was good. He was definitely a highlight. Oh, nice Night Chaos. He's building a wooden ship. All right. Yeah, it's deciding to just not. Yeah, see, it's updating here, and I can. All right, I'll try to read it from there. You like how Elrond was why his friend was so upset? Yes. That was excellently done, because it shows the whole issue with elves living so long, right? Like we were talking about a few minutes ago. Elves live so long that they don't even realize that it's important. right, to him. And I thought it was really well done. I thought it was good. I just like how he wouldn't even tell him at first. He's just like, you should know. And he's like, oh, it's been 20 years already. Yeah. And I mean, again, remember, they live a long time. Dwarves do too, but not nearly as long as others. So. All right. Yeah, Night Chaos, you're right. They do. Oops, excuse me. Gonna sneeze. All right, I'm good. Yes, Night Chaos, they do. It seems like actors sometimes will tend to say something that they think they're putting in, and it turns out that that's not what the writers put. And then when they put it together in scenes, it doesn't come out like that at all. But we'll see. Peter, yeah, I know. My cousin, Worldly Lexicon, who you've seen in some of my videos, some of my unexpected party videos. He messaged me. He goes, "Okay, Zollin." He's like, "So how good was it actually?" He's like, everyone's rating it like an 8 and an 8.5, and they just said the one thing they don't like is some of the writing. Is that correct? And I was like, well, usually those things are fake, but in this case, I think that is correct, because that's how I kind of rating it. It's the writing and some of the story plots that I'm disliking from and how they write the lines for Galadriel, but otherwise, like the scenes, the music, the visuals, really good. I have had some people say it's kind of like it's a little bit like, what was it? It's a little bit more like newer action fantasy movie, and I can see that. But again, that's marketing because they know it's entertaining and fun, and I mean, it is fun. I mean, I enjoyed it. Again, I still, with the one part with the troll in episode 1, I really think Galadriel should have come in a little sooner to help her men. They're like getting the crap beat out of him by the snow troll, and the troll goes, "Let me smash you against the wall." And then he like throws the one guy down, and he's like, he's about to kill him, and then she comes in. It's like, as she's watching for that whole like 3 or 4 seconds, I'm like, it didn't really, unless that was them switching scenes badly, but that seems really like, all right, you gotta help your men. They're getting killed by a snow troll. Yeah, that's what's happening. You should probably help them. But anyway, it did show the fact that elves are, they heal really fast and they're really strong. But they aren't invincible. So getting smashed against a wall by a snow troll and hit by a giant pillar of ice, I feel like should have probably hurt him a little more. But that's what I thought. I don't know if you guys thought that or not. Yeah, it's my live chat is taking so long. It's funny because the live chat's coming in better on this thing right here, my little thing. Fact. Let's see. You missed the dwarf children's names. One of them did sound like Gimli, though. I don't know if they're going to important characters. I think the reason you didn't see their names as much and they didn't really show the dwarven children is because I think they're not really going to be a part of it, because they're not really that important, I don't think. Now, another issue when it comes to dwarves is the fact that in the lore and the canon that there shouldn't be 2 Durins at once, because they name another Durin when they believe it's like a reincarnation of the next Durin. So it's kind of weird that there's the Durin king and then there's the Durin prince. But I mean, that's like normal in kings and queenship in our history, so I think that's why they did that. But I don't think it's game changing. I just think that was kind of weird that they didn't respect that part of the lore, but whatever. I think they just really wanted the prince to be named Durin, but they needed the king to be alive too, so I think that might be why. Yeah, they just watched it happen. It was funny. Just a pillar snow troll, small but not hurt elves. Yeah, exactly. I'm having to read your really tiny writing here on the thing because my other thing isn't updating. Yeah, it made the other elves seem kind of like useless. Like, and the thing is too, I think I realized during the second time watching it, I'm pretty sure the elves that were with her on that adventure were the group of elves that were with her as children. I think they were her friends. So they should also be rather powerful. So it seemed a little silly. Now, granted, she didn't kill the troll by herself. the other guy who keeps like flipped her up, right? So like she got like a surprise attack, and of course it was busy trying to pound her friends in the ground. But they didn't really show it well. I would have liked to see a little bit more team effort with the elves fighting that snow troll, like kind of like they do in Moria with the Fellowship, you know. Maybe a little bit longer fight, but make it more they're more working with the elves. One of the elves gets beat up, right, against the wall, and the other ones all fight him and work together, and then she finishes him off with a slice or a stab in the throat like she did. The most realistic thing she did was stab him in the throat. That made sense with a big sword. That was like, okay. And then maybe her roll when she cuts his leg to get him lower, okay, that was fine. But the whole in the air thing, and then, you know, I was just like, that seems a little extreme. It wasn't as bad as Legolas, like, you know, flying on rocks in The Hobbit, but it still was a little unrealistic. Granted, her strength would be better because elves are just naturally very strong, too. Hence why I think Elrond's able to break those stones like Durin over and over, because they just have a lot of natural strength with their blessings. It looks like they came... Yeah, so technically the Witch King would, right, not be around yet at all. But I really like the fortress. I know they didn't name it because they probably didn't have the rights to name it, but the fortress was excellente. It's very good. Very cool. Again, it was probably just the abandoned fortress of Morgoth. Or maybe Sauron's fortress. You know, they were thinking that like Sauron's fortress that, you know, Finrod died in the dungeons, right? Maybe, of course, I think she would have known where that was, but maybe not, right? Maybe that could have been that fortress. Maybe. I don't know. Well, maybe we'll find out in the future. Maybe they won't be able to say it because of copyright things. I don't know. We'll see. I don't know, but I'm going to have to reset my browser there because it is just refusing to. There we go. Let's see if it updates there. There we go. It updated. All right. Yeah, it does look like the crown of the Witch King. I see what you're saying, Peter. Yeah, it does. But the thing is, the Witch King isn't around yet. He's not alive yet. Like, not even as a human before he was corrupted. Because the Rings of Power haven't even been made. And then later, those Rings of Power will be given to men. So maybe he's alive already as one of the Kings of Men. But I'm not sure. Yeah, the Angmar Wars in the Third Age. Yeah, that is true. Yep. Which, if you played the Battle for Middle-earth, which is a fantastic game, which we will probably play on the channel too. By the way, I was kind of hoping the Gollum game would be out, like, really soon. But apparently they put off the date for it coming out. So we'll have to wait a little longer on that one. The one lieutenant that was Galadriel. He seems more disrespectful than he should have been. Yeah, he was. Again, I think that's because he was her friend from when you know, the one she fights when she was little. I think that's why. And again, I didn't like the fact that Galadriel was like disobeying orders and like just going on and like obsessed to get there. And then, you know, they have to say, Galadriel, she's falling. And then when she realizes the late one elf falls on the ground back there, she like brings a cloak. And then that was like the Galadriel I think of, right? She was like caring. But, like, her obsession was a little too much. And, of course, because of that, that's why they had to make that character who was disrespectful to her. Because she's being so extreme, right? And agreed, as much as that character, I actually liked some of his parts. Yeah, he was a little bit too disrespectful. But, again, it's because she's, like, disobeying orders of the king. And they know that they should have gone back, like, months earlier, right? And they know it's, like, now they're going to, like, a suicide run, practically. So I think that's why they did that with that character. But again, that's all made up. That's all not canon. So that's whatever they want to do. But yeah, I also found that a little... It's weird that they're being disrespectful to her when she's like their main leader. But I think the reason is because she's disobeying orders, and also because he's probably that old friend from when they were little. That's my guess. From the made up stuff that isn't canon. Yeah, exactly. This is very well said. This is what I'm trying to point out. Like, that's what's driving me crazy, because occasionally she'll be like canon, where she'll be like the Galadriel we all know from the books, and then other times she's like something like this really not independent. Galadriel is a very independent character. That's not what I'm saying. She's like being rude and like you know, overpowering and like, you know, I'm disobeying all orders. And it's just like, that doesn't seem like the Galadriel I know. She just doesn't seem wise. She seems like she's being foolish and over obsessed with her goal. And that just doesn't ever seem like Galadriel, even in the books of the Second Age when you read about her. So that's like Amazon's twist on it. I don't really like that. But then you hear her, she occasionally does stuff that's like the Galadriel we know. Again, I'll break that down in my review videos for you guys. I think those review videos are going to be one of each episode, and they'll probably end up being just under an hour because there's a lot to go through and a lot of stuff I want to say. Good and bad. Yeah, exactly. I got the part up to where they said the fortress, but the fact that she found evidence, Night Chaos says, the time to build a fortress on an ice mountain. Nah, it's abandoned. Yeah, exactly. You want to check it, at least, if you're there. Yeah. Now, granted, it's probably the abandoned fortress that either Morgoth made back in the day, right? Or Sauron, right? Way back in the north. But I would guess it would be Morgoth's old fortress, one of his fortresses he retreated to. Again, the other fortress that he originally was in, where he made the Balrogs and Dragons, I believe got sunk with Bellarend. So that should be under the ocean. Yeah, I think the blade thing is totally made up. I think the blade is going to be some kind of Morgul blade. That's my guess. You know, maybe it's something to do with, like, something Sauron, you know. Maybe it's going to help bring out Sauron or something. I don't know. That might be total made-up, non-canon stuff. But again, the boy, I like that he didn't abandon, like, his mom. And I also like that she didn't abandon him when that orc came and how it was so hard for them to kill the orc. But it was pretty realistic how they were trying to fight it. I like that. I thought that part was really good, even though they're made-up characters. Oh, the box was Mithril. It had to be. Sergeant. It had to be Mithril. They were saying they don't want to show what they found in Khazad-dûm. Well, what is the one thing they found in Khazad-dûm in the Second Age? Mithril. That's canon. So, it's got to be some kind of Mithril. They could just make some random jewels, but I'd be kind of disappointed. It should be Mithril. And because the Arkenstone was found later in the heart of Erebor, which is not in the Misty Mountains, not near Khazad-dûm. It's a totally different city and place. Yeah, the goblin part was pretty cool. Like, yeah, it was cool to see a goblin that was like really, really evil, and you realize that, oh my gosh, orcs and goblins are terrifying. Like, they're actually a threat. One goblin can be a threat. And then you realize what happens in Lord of the Rings with armies, and you're like, holy moly. All right, Night Chaos. The point, they abandoned. Yeah. And again, remember, guys, they point this out. I'm pretty sure Tolkien points this out in the books, and they point this out in the game, Shadows of Mordor, that all of Mordor was not a barren wasteland. Like some of it near the mountain was bad, but like the majority of Mordor was actually gorgeous, and that's why the orcs were able to inhabit it so well too, because they still had things they could eat and animals, but you know, they slowly ruin it over hundreds of years once they kind of take it over. But they're probably going to show how the humans get pushed out of Mordor because of the orcs and that kind of stuff, even though that's not canon lore, but that does happen. We just don't see it or hear about it in the books, but we know it happens because Tolkien says once he starts taking back over kind of stuff. So that's what we're probably going to see with that side story with the kid and the mom and the other elf. Again, that elf is growing on me. I actually liked his personality and stuff. Again, maybe the reason he's been living in Mordor for 80 years, so you know, he's got a nice suntan. I mean, okay. I like his character though. I think he's a good character. I like his lines. I like the subtle that he has a love for the human, but it's not like ridiculous. I like his character so far. The Palantir. Palanthea, some people say. I think it's a Palantir. Yeah, so I have a feeling that Palantir will probably be in Umbar by the ocean, or it'll be in Numenor. That's my guess. When Galadriel sees this, I bet Galadriel will see it in Numenor. I bet it'll be there because the Palantir were created and have the ability. They think of them like, you know, those things when you go to a zoo or a national park and you like can look through them and it's a big telescope, right? That's kind of how Palantirs work. So like in the you know how in the Lord of the Rings the eye is like looking with the light around Middle Earth, right? Well, Sauron is never actually an eye. That was made up. That is not canon, right? Now Tolkien actually drew pictures of the eye of Sauron on his books and pictures, but he never explained him as an actual physical fire eye, like as a spirit. He was still Sauron as a spirit, just trapped in his tower, and he was using the Palantir he stole to look through Middle Earth like that with that ability because he was so powerful. Which, if you have more power, you're able to use it easier, the Palantir. So that's why he was looking for it, and why they said they wanted to draw Sauron's attention was to have that battle at the Black Gate in the rear one, because Sauron would look, you know, and be focusing on directing this fight. So that Frodo and Sam could sneak by right to Mount Doom. So that was accurate. But again, it was a nice change because it made him really cool to have this fire eye, right? But it wasn't canon, but that was really cool because Tolkien did describe it as an eye, just not a fiery eye. It was just Sauron's eye looking through a Palantir for people, right? But again, the Palantirs were used by other people. It was also an Orthanc because Orthanc was originally created by the Numenorians, which maybe we'll see Orthanc created in this series, right? And that's why one was there and why Saruman had one, because Saruman was given that tower later as a thank you because he helped with things. Because he was a good guy. He wasn't always a bad guy, Saruman, originally. And then, Numenor has one. So I think that's where we'll see that. Yeah, so exactly. They should be in Numenor or Valinor. Now, they're brought to Middle-earth by the Numenorians later. That's what I'm talking about with Saruman's tower. They're going to be brought later. But I bet you, I think Galadriel will look into the Palantir because I think she'll be at Numenor. I think. And I think that other lady is going to be like the queen or the princess or something of Numenor, which is the one that I think gets forced to be married to Altherazon, who is kind of the usurper of the throne in Numenor from Eladin and Isildur. And then they're going to leave, and then we're going to have the sinking. I don't know if that'll be in this season or next season. We'll see. I'm hoping it'll be next season, because if they rush it too fast, it won't be enough information to take it in. Yeah, Galadriel needs to use more magic. I don't mind her being able to use a sword, but she's going a little too whole warrior thing. She's a powerful mage. Like, she should be able to be using more magic at this point in her life. She's already pretty old. She's not a teenager like they seem like they're trying to portray her. Botray. Potray and Butray. Yeah, exactly. I think it'll be in Numenor. She'll look into that. So, well, my friends, thanks for hanging out so long. That was fun. I think I'm gonna chill now for the rest of the day and relax. But I had a lot of fun hanging out with everybody. Do you guys want to add anything else before I go, or any questions? No one needed an invite to the kinship on Quick Color, right? While we're doing a live stream. Do a little quick shout out and thank you to my Patreons for your support. If you guys are interested in anything like that, even the lowest level gives you guys a Discord. So I want Discord to be accessible to most people. So, and then thank you also to Bradicus, who last live stream became a Patreon. I haven't updated this yet for him, but all right. You guys have a great day in Middle Earth, and if you guys watch this as a video later, subscribe button's there, next episode's there, and Lower Tail's there. And for you guys, I know you're all subscribed, but down there if you're not. Thanks, everybody. Thanks for hanging out. That was a fun watch party. Do you guys want to do this again, maybe? for the next episodes. Do you guys like it that it's like a day or two later, too? Because I kind of like being able to watch it myself on the TV and then have a watch party with you guys and talk about it. Because I think it's better so that everyone can kind of watch it and absorb it the first time, and then the watch party I can still talk and not feel like I'm just talking over the video at your first time watching it. So I think we'll probably stick with maybe doing a watch party on, Saturday, Friday, one of those days, or maybe Sunday. Wait, because it's always going to come out on... Is it always going to come out Thursday night or Friday? I don't know. I'll figure it out. You'll see me post stuff. Bye, you guys. We'll do it like the day after or 2 days after, because I think it's a little nicer for us to be able to communicate and talk after we've absorbed it and watched it once. All right, have a great day in Middle-earth. Baruch Hazad Kuzar menu. Thank you, everyone, for being here. That was fun. I appreciate the hangout. And I'll see you all in the next episode of Voice of the Rings. Thanks again to my patrons. And I'll see you all in the next episode of Voice of the Rings. See ya. Bye.